guys, I'm Diz, this is Domino, and today we're gonna go out on a limb here and cross into some conspiracy theories. I like to stick to things that can be proven normally, but sometimes I like to stray into the land of things that can't necessarily be proven, but they haven't been disproven. If you have for some reason found yourself here again, please consider subscribing so you don't miss the next one. Number 1, mattress firms. So I'm sure that you guys have heard about this already if you're into conspiracy theories, but when I found out about this, I went crazy. I was living in Utah at the time, and so I Googled mattress firms, and there was like 6 of them that were semi-local to me. I get it, where I used to live was like in the Orem area, so it is a large population, but still, that's a lot. And I get it, you want to get ahead of the competition. So one of the ways of getting ahead of the competition is to buy your competition out. And with those buildings, you might want to consider putting in another mattress store. And having 2 that are relatively close to each other, you're competing with each other. But Mattress Firm has come out and said that it's not that expensive to run their stores. So it wouldn't be that big of a deal to have 2 that are kind of close to each other. Now that explains the Utah area where there's just a lot of them that they're not necessarily like close, they're just kind of close. But it doesn't explain the mattress firms that are like across the street from each other. That is not a competitive edge. That is what I call suspicious. And if you're one of the people that's new to the mattress firm conspiracy theory, it is that they are using their mattress stores to launder money. Now, Mattress Firm was bought off by Steinhoff. Now, Steinhoff actually paid twice the reasonable price for Mattress Firm. What business in it to make a profit spends twice the price of a business without some kind of perk, some kind of incentive? So if that's where you're choosing to launder money, that's quite the incentive, wouldn't you think? Now, Steinhoff has also been busted for some tax fraud and some shady deals and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, which only points me more towards they may be doing something questionable with all of the different Mattress Firm stores. Number 2 on my list is another very popular one, HAARP. High frequency active auroral. Why does it sound so funny when I say it? Like it sounds perfect in my head. Auroral. But I say it aloud, I'm like, I got a In the description, I went ahead and put a link to their website so you can check out what they want you to know. Now, there has been plenty of allegations of what the 180 antennas on the 40 acres in Alaska are really used for. Some say that it's used for controlling the weather. Some say they're used for mind control. Some say that it's even a portal of some kind of timey-wimey device. But according to their site, the goal of research at HAARP is to conduct fundamental study of physical processes at work in the very highest portions of our atmosphere, called the thermosphere and ionosphere. The research falls into 2 categories. 1, active, which requires the use of ionospheric research instruments, and 2, passive, which only uses monitoring instruments. The ionosphere starts with about 60 to 80 kilometers of altitude and extends up to 500 kilometers of altitude. There are free electrons and ions in the ionosphere that radio waves can interact with. HAARP radio waves heat the electrons and create small perturbations that are similar to the kinds of interactions that happened in nature. Natural phenomena are random and are often difficult to observe. With HAARP, scientists can control when and where the perturbations occur so they can measure their effectiveness. In addition, they can repeat experiments to confirm the measurements really show what researchers think they can do. Now, with that piece of information, I encourage you to go read the rest of what they have to say on their website. But my question to you is, do you think that there's a little bit of space there to start reading between some lines, that they aren't quite giving us the full picture here of what all those antennas and their machines and all their gadgets are really capable of? I want to know. Go ahead and leave me that in the comments. Number 3, the chamber behind Lincoln Station on Mount Rushmore. Now, the original designer of the chamber that's that's back there in his brainal area, originally wanted it to be like a chamber full of American history. So he wanted things like the Declaration of Independence to be kept there and little tidbits to tell the full history of America. Some believe that there are hidden documents, proofs that aliens exist, and proofs of some of the horrible things America has done. But when I got to thinking about that, that's a lot of work. So you really expect me to believe that they're printing off documents to prove that they're jerks, and then taking those documents and putting them in Lincoln's brain. I mean, if there is proof that aliens exist, I don't think they would bother taking that proof all the way to Mount Rushmore to put it in the brain of Lincoln. It just doesn't add up. Why would you try to hide it for future people to know when you're not willing to tell the people now? Now, I think that whole story is a bit far-fetched. But what I think that could be used for is some kind of doomsday center. Like, that is where some rich people are gonna go to be protected when the whole world comes to the end. If you guys would like to check out the blueprints from the original guy who built the chamber and read a little bit more into that, I left a link in the description below for you. And I would like to know what you guys think. If you guys have a different theory than it's, alien documents or a doomsday place, I want to know, so let me know down in the comments. Number 4, chemtrails. With all the planes flying around these days, it would be very easy to hide some kind of chemical in the exhaust that's raining down on all the people. With all the planes flying around these days, it'd be really easy to hide some kind of chemical in the plane exhaust, and that exhaust to sprinkle all over the people. And these chemicals could be used to sterilize us or control our thoughts or whatever. And that they used to not last as long as they do now. They're like lingering. It makes it quite suspicious. So 77 scientists actually went out and did research on it. They tested soil, they tested air, they tested all sorts of stuff to find chemicals. And on 76 of them found it that there was nothing. They didn't find nothing. The last one found a chemical that's found naturally, but it was just a higher dose of that chemical, so it was a little questionable if that might be related to chemtrails or if that chemical for some reason is just higher. But my question to the whole idea of sending scientists out there is that if you don't know what you're looking for, or if you're going out there with a skeptical mind, it's really easy to come up short. It's really hard to find something if you don't know what you're looking for. Now, in the research that I did, I couldn't find out if the scientists had any sort of bias to them. If they were biased as in they didn't believe it, or biased as in they did believe it. So, were they looking to find nothing, or were they looking to find something? And how easy would it be to find something that could be unknown? We don't know if they are putting anything in the chemicals, and we don't know what they are putting in the chemicals. This could be a man-made substance that scientists aren't familiar with. That is really hard to detect. Depending on how they were going about detecting all these chemicals, that it could be. What makes the most sense is they were out there searching for chemicals and compounds of things that we know. What if they're using something we don't know? Number 5, the CIA created AIDS. Now, things we can all agree on is that AIDS was in the rise back in 1981. Things we can't agree on is exactly where AIDS came from. There is a theory that I just have a really hard time wrapping my mind around, that AIDS came from monkeys. I'm gonna go off on a little dirt trail here and just say I don't know anybody, personally, that is interested in a monkey. And I know that there's different ways you can get AIDS, but like, I don't know anybody that was like, sup, monkey? Come over here and sit on my lap, ape. Now, I know that there are more ways to get AIDS than just having a monkey sit on your lap. But monkeys? Really? So I tend to lean more towards this one has some extreme unknowns, that it is possible that the CIA did create it. Now, the idea that the CIA created AIDS to wipe out the homosexuals and the African Americans, I would like to believe that my government is not full of a bunch of shady, horrible people experimenting on civilians. But when you look into things like what happened in Tuskegee, it makes it really hard to believe the CIA when they say it came from monkeys. And when you add up the fact back in 1978 and 1981, they were testing vaccines on gay men in New York, San Francisco, and LA, the three biggest points of the AIDS outbreak here in the United States, it really starts smelling fishy. I added some links down below about the vaccinations from 78 to 81 if you guys would like to check those out. Number 6. Now, you can't have a conspiracy list without mentioning Area 51. You want to know how I know that? Because I tried. I tried to come up with 7 different things and it just didn't feel right to leave off Area 51. I think we all know the truth about what's going on at Area 51 by now. That yes, they have aliens in the freezer. And that it's being run by a different kind of alien. And that's why they won't listen. Number 7, and my personal favorite, the reptiles rule the world. From everyone from the royal family to Trump to any political figure or celebrity are all reptiles. Underneath that skin is a reptile-y face that's coming at you like a... I've seen the pictures. I know it's real. I've seen the proof of the glitchy eyes and the stumbling reptile faces. But getting back to being just a little bit semi-serious, I have seen some kind of compelling evidence to support this, but at the same time I haven't seen really compelling evidence to support this. So if you guys have found some really good proof of reptile people, I would really like to watch that. And as always, if you like this video, please hit like. If you like me, go ahead and hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. If honestly you're just here for my dog, I get it. You can follow her on Instagram at thisishavinabadday. Thank you for watching. That's a wrap! That's a wrap, 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 wrap. Mama shark doo 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 doo. Hey, hey, we're the monkeys. Why just the butt? Turn around. And all we see is your rump. I like to think. That's a good thing, right? That is absurd. That's my booby. We've talked about this. How do I make that noise? Does anybody else do the rah rah? A portal. Waka waka waka. You know what I should be doing? Drinking booze. Getting drunk. I copied and pasted it from your site. Shouldn't it say like A or and or something in there? It's his brains. Number 3? Number 3. Do 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 do. Dizzy should not be allowed to drink energy drinks and film at the same time. Ah! Don't go off script, Dizzy. If anything, they're just entertaining. Are you not entertained, dog? I love conspiracies. Great. Go. Nailed it.